Hello everyone and welcome to the Chick-Fil-A 500 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, round number 2 of 26 for the Sundrop Cup Series event. Here we are at Atlanta. On pole, Anderson Reed for Tony Zhang Motorsports. The first time for the team as it is just their second start in the series. Coming off a top 10 last week at Daytona, now starting on pole for Atlanta. This team looking to be a mainstay in the NSDCA already, pulling two great finishes and starts here back to back. Behind them, though, is Cody Goforth in the 27, coming off of that Daytona, almost a victory. If the race was just one lap shorter, he would have won it. The lap cars took him out of it. Tim Foster went on to win the 500. Goforth coming in here today after the switch from RER to NBM. He is demanding a race victory in that 27 team and trying to prove that it wasn't a fluke at the Sundrop 500. We have a lot of great drivers in the field, 33 running in this event, but a few rookies and a few vets here to make note of. Back here in 8th, Danny Lloyd making his debut to the NSDCA, coming over from the United Kingdom in that number 1 car for Reed Racing. He is getting a Molson modified ride in the NSDCA. However, this will be his first career start. He did not run at Homestead. He was not here for Homestead. He came in now for next week's West Coast races for the Molson Modified Series. But Danny Lloyd, the last time a driver went to victory lane in their debut, Tony Green's Season 1 Daytona. We'll have to see if Danny Lloyd can follow in those footsteps, get himself a victory here at Atlanta. Cody Smart in the 02 Funimation car for Smart Motorsports. There's the Anjado duo, Peter Anjak and Tim Foster, the highest two from Anjado this week. Nathan Stapleton not in it. That was an R&D car for the team. Looking further back, Larry Hagan there. Joseph Strigley pulling up a full-time campaign, or trying to, in the Sundrop Cup Series, as he has a full-time car and charter in the Crown Royal Truck Series. He has Black's Tire on the car for 5 races this season. Just signed that sponsor heading into Atlanta. Qualified this car without any sponsorship and got some sponsorship now for 5 races. He's looking to do good. Starting, though, in the 26th position is going to be a big task ahead for him, but he is very strong. It is a equal field, so hopefully we can see Joseph Strigley up in that top battle. Further back, you got the 51, John Dilks in that 51 car. He's trying to go out here and win this race, but he's starting pretty far back as well for Johnson Performance. We'll see if he can match Dwayne Rockefeller's run at Daytona last season. In the bottom 3, all Toyotas, Alex Benyako and Jacob Edson in SBR teams colors, and Scott Roush, a driver who qualified top 10 in the trucks last season and ran top 10 here, filling in for the injured Alex Benyako. Happy to see Benyako off. And speaking about injuries, DJ Gibson has almost completed his rehab, so hopefully he will be back in that 53 car soon, but Logan Bradley will roll off 5th today. Let's go down trackside for the commands to fire the engines here at the Chick-Fil-A 500 at Atlanta.
Drivers, start your engines.
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for the fastest qualifier in all 26 Sundrop Cup Series races this season. Today it is Anderson Reed, a first career pole for Tony Zhang Motorsports in their second ever race in the NSDCA as a brand new team to the Sundrop Cup Series. They finally get a pole here at Atlanta. Anderson Reed, a driver for Anjado, looking to bring TZM their first career win here at Atlanta, the Chick-Fil-A 500. With that, the engines are fired. 33 drivers rolling off for a record 98 laps here at Atlanta. It's going to be one of the long races on the season. Tires are going to be worn. Pit stops are going to be plenty. We have seen the fuel window here about 26 to 32 laps here at Atlanta, meaning that's going to be a guaranteed 3 pit stops needed during this race. You better hope if this thing goes green that your pit crew can get you out there fast, no mistakes, get you out there and try to win this race. It's going to be an entertaining 33 laps as the starting grid rolled across your screen. We got a lot of drivers in here, a lot of rookies, a lot of veterans. We're going to have to see how they will tackle this Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here at night, once again, the stands are packed for this Sundrop Cup Series race, the second race of the season, but this is the first one that matters, really. The Super Speedway package can be anything, but the cars have to be able to drive on these 1.5ers, on these speedways, these short tracks, these road courses, these technical tracks, to make sure that they are some great cars to drive. And now this is their first test in a real race. The Super Speedway was fun, but now we are here at an endurance race, 98 laps around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Coming down the front straightaway, who is going to be able to win this race? 33 cars lead us down 98 laps. Green flag is in the air. Reed and Morris on the front row, down into turn number 1. 2 and 3 wide racing back there as Anderson Reed's going to clear into first. Cody Goforth trying to clear into second already as Logan Bradley holds up that bottom line. Now Jay Jefferson in those cobalt colors. He's trying to make a move up 3 wide. These guys are stacked together. And we see, again, you remember back in the Crown Royal Truck Series races back in Season 1, these guys were really close together on the oval tracks. They were really close together as Cody Goforth is trying to lead the lap now. And he does get that lap led. It looks like, no, Anderson Reed does get it as he and Morris are going to fly by on the outside line. But you remember back in Season 1 of the Crown Royal Truck Series, the field stayed pretty close together for the entire race. Now these Cup cars, they have more engine power than the first season of the CRTS. It's the different package. Of course, the trucks changed packages last season, and that produced at least a bit better racing on some of the tracks. So we'll have to see if these guys will be stuck together for this opening stint, if there'll be a big one. We don't know what'll happen, but Atlanta has shown in the past 2 seasons that it is chaotic, it is crazy. That's why the NSDCA did not really want it in the chase anymore for either the Crown Royal Truck Series or Sundrop Cup Series. That's why it is up here for the Cup. They are not heading here for the trucks as we know of. But that is what's going on right here. Bobo Jones in the 95 already taking his way through the field as Anderson Reed has now pulled away into the race lead for Tony Zhang Motorsports and is trying to pull away in that 75 truck. Battle for this second to about 6th or 7th. Morris trying to hang on. Cucalon now clears into third. DJ Gibson's number 53. As you see, it says Gibson on the back, but again, Logan Bradley just filling in for that 53 driver. Bradley sits in the 4th position side by side with Cody Goforth. That is for that 4th position, and Goforth's going to drop back now to 6th as Bobo Jones is on the move towards the front, and Brandon Morris in the 55 down to the inside on Reed. That is now the battle for the race lead heading into turn number 1 as Morris is on the inside of Reed. 5 of 98 complete already here in the Sundrop Cup Series, and we just have a lot more action-packed racing to go. Looking further back, looking at the back of the pack, they are 2 by 2, 3 wide. There's nowhere to go when you're this far back. You just got to try to find a line that works for you. Bit of a pack back there, but up front they're starting to get a bit more spread out. The wide angle shot of all 33 cars as they rush off a turn number 4. Morris is going to lead that lap. Looking at a few guys in this field. Last week, we had about 18 drivers that could have got their first career victory at the Sundrop 500, and Cody Goforth almost did until the last lap. Now, drivers in this field that are looking for their first career NSDCA victory. Brandon Morris in this 55 as he takes the race lead away from Reed. Sebastian Cucalon in the 12 has never won in the NSDCA. Neither has Bobo Jones. Cody Goforth, at least in the National Series races. And even further back, you got guys, Cody Smart in this 02. Further back, Eric Monaco in the 72. Danny Lloyd, of course, this is his debut race. If he wins this, that is insane. John Dilks also has never won in the NSDCA. Even further back, Gatlin Downey has never won. Joseph Srigley has never won. And I believe that is all in the field. And Scott Roush is the other one that has never won. Roush right now 33rd. But we got a lot of drivers that could be first-time winners, and a couple of them up front. Morris out in front in this Gatorade Lays combo 55. He is out in front trying to pull away from this battle for second. That is Cucalon, Reed, Bradley. So the Fords on the inside are going to move Anderson Reed out of there. That's going to bring Sebastian Cucalon now into second. Logan Bradley up to third, but he wants more. He wants to go up here for second. Contact between him and Cucalon heading into the corner. Moves Cucalon out of the way. He's now up into second. Logan Bradley has never won on an oval that was not a super speedway. He has one career victory, the Crown Royal 300, about 3 years ago in that number 53, or in the number 94 truck. And now Logan Bradley, he wants to get up front and show that he has speed, show that he has these ZR horsepower underneath him. He's up into second right now, chasing down Brandon Morris. Side by side for 4th, Reed, Bobo Jones, Brady Burkhardt, 4th, 5th, and 6th is the battle there. Cody Goforth sits 7th. Spurley Tube versus the 57 of DeLello. That is for the 10th position right there is Jefferson, Cody Smart, Matty Porta, Austin Murray, Carter Friesen right behind that. Jefferson is thought to be a threat this season on these speedways as he is up here fighting hard just inside the top 10. And we saw at the edge of our screen, Logan Bradley, your new race leader. Cucalon dropped back to 5th. And now Logan Bradley now starting to pace the field here at Atlanta. As you see, 10 laps through this event already. These laps are ticking by very quickly. They run very fast here at Atlanta, one of the fastest tracks on the schedule. Pit window, only 26 to 33 laps, 32 or 33 laps. So right now we are coming up on halfway through this cycle. There is a spin. It looks like Larry Hagan in the 21 with damage. No caution for that, but that is heavy damage to the 21 car. Now we do want to say with this, with the contact between Friesen and Spurley-Tube there. But with the minimum speed requirements at the super speedways, the SDCS at least is also putting in a minimum speed for the 1.5 mile and 2 mile ovals, not the super speedways, but the actual ovals that are still pretty fast. Minimum speed there is 25 miles per hour off the pace instead of 15 at super speedways. Let's see Morris looking to the inside of Bradley. Oh, close there between these two. But Larry Hagan, he'll basically have to run. These guys are hitting probably about 195 heading into the corners. He's going to have to be around 170 heading into corner to be able to be meeting minimum speed. And there you see him right there. He's going to bring that 21 down pit road. It's just too damaged. They're going to have to repair the 21 car. So early on, 13 and 98 complete. And there goes Larry Hagan down pit road. Edson was held up by it. Benyako, Roush, Stephen Wallace Jr. were held up by it. So it looks like the back half of the grid kind of more spread out. Up front, they're still pretty close together. But 13 and 98 complete here at Atlanta. Logan Bradley is the driver in the race lead as they come on down through 1 and 2. Reed and Morris fighting for that second position. And now 14 and 98 complete. We're going to go ahead, take you guys to a quick commercial break. Bring you guys back to the action here at Atlanta in just a few laps. Logan Bradley trying to win this race out in front here at Atlanta.
At Georgia Pacific, our 30,000 U.S. employees make things like boxes that we make from recycling paper and other boxes to give them a second life. Georgia Pacific, we make that.
Back live here at Atlanta, new race leader Bobo Jones in the number 95 Powerade Chevrolet. Logan Bradley and Brandon Morris both dropping outside of the top 3. As Anderson Reed and Brady Burkhart have come back up. Burkhart almost into the back of Reed. Larry Hagan has come off a pit road. He's pretty far back. Jacob Edson also came down pit road. He was involved in that incident with Hagan. He came down to repair as well, so both of those guys will be a lap or 2 down now, so that'll probably be the end of their chances at this Chick-Fil-A 500. Sebastian Cucalon on the inside of Brandon Morris there, the 12 and 55 side by side. That is for that 5th position. Now Cucalon looking for the 4th spot. Reed clear into 2nd, Bradley clear into 3rd. Now sits Cucalon in 4th, Burkhart 5th, Morris 6th, 7th is DeLello, 8th Jefferson, 9th Goforth, battle for 10th. Friesen, Cody Smart, and Riley Spurley-Tube back there. And you see those pink stripes on the back of the car. Those denote part-time drivers. We don't have many full-time drivers this season. I think about 20 full-time cars, but 3 of those are driving with part-time drivers as well, though Joseph Srigley, I believe he still has the pink stripes on the back of that car. He is no longer a part-time driver. He is attempting the full schedule, supposedly, so he will probably have to get those removed for next race. Contact between Murray and Dilks into the wall. Matty Porta's in it. Austin Murray's in it. Back down the track. Bowers gets a piece of it. Stephen Wallace Jr.'s in it. And that is a big one. Jacob Edson's piling in. And Roush and Benyako trying to get through. And we have the big one here, 4 cars totaled here at Atlanta, and that is just before pit stops. This will put them off cycle as the race lead. They were battling for the lead. Bobo Jones will lead them around. Anderson Reed back there in 2nd. Logan Bradley, but they're going to come through the crash zone. Jacob Edson, days gone from bad to worse. His car was repaired. Now he's out. Stephen Wallace Jr., Austin Murray, Matty Porta also involved, and that is heartbreaking for Sauber Racing Team in the 20. They only have one car this week. It's Porta, and that's going to put them at a very big disadvantage. Everyone, though, is going to come on down. You'd be stupid not to at this point, unless you did stay out basically this whole race like Larry Hagan, as you see him flying on in with all that damage to the 21 car. But we will go down for pit stops. Bobo Jones leading them down. We'll go ahead, go to the end of pit road angle cam to watch some pit stops happening. Here at Atlanta, you need tires. 2 tires will not matter. 4 tires is where it's at, and these guys are going to need to run those 4 tires here to do anything. So if you see anyone take 2 tires, they could be very slow on these restarts. 4 tires is the big deal, especially after 22 laps. Bobo Jones is going to come on out. Everyone's going for a 4-tire change, and it's going to be Bobo Jones leading them out. Reed's team slow on that tire, and Burkhart second, Bradley third, Jefferson freezing up there. Hagan might have pulled up. He might have only taken 2, and that's going to be big. Cody Goforth and Anderson Reed, I think, are trapped on pit road. They couldn't get out, and now they get out at the very back. Heartbreaking for them. Cody Smart also in it. So let's take a look at how this looks now. Burkhart's going to pick up a few spots, but Jay Jefferson, Carter Friesen are now inside the top 5. That is dangerous for these guys. Larry Hagan is up here, but he is a lap down, but he will be slow lining up in the middle of the pack. Again, the NSDCA, it's just however you line up after pit stops, at the caution after pit stops. So if there's lappers in the middle, tough luck. It's better than having them in the front on that inside line and just slowing everyone up, since that inside line is so much better. Onjak's going to pick up some. Morris falls back. The 12 of Cucalon falls back. But the big losers here, I think they were held on pit road because they just couldn't get out. Anderson Reed's now outside of the top 10, top 15, and Goforth is back here as well. Cody Smart in the 0-2 also held. So that is heartbreaking there. Joseph Sergley rolls off last. But yeah, these guys are now outside of the top 20 after running on pole third. They tried to lead some laps, and they are out. So Bobo Jones, your race leader here in the 95. Burkhart in the 99. Bradley, Jefferson, and Friesen, your top 5. We got to go ahead and take another replay of what happened to bring out this caution. 4 drivers are out of the race now after the big one strikes down in turn number 3. Heading down into turn number 4, an almost 3-wide situation. Turns the 91 across the front of the 51. Murray slides up. Porta, an innocent bystander, and a heavy hit to the rear of that number 20 car. But as he slides down, he's going to get hit pretty hard by Jacob Edson in the driver's side. Hopefully Porta is okay. On board with John Dilks, as you see the 91 just comes down on him. And there's really nowhere for anyone else to go. Srigley almost runs over the 51. Butcher, Curtis also trying to get through. Stephen Wallace Jr. a bit further back, was behind Dusty Neal, tries to get through it. He goes to the apron. He thinks he's going to get through it, but Murray slides down, takes a big hit to the front of that 65 for GDI, and Edson also hit in that. On board with Jacob Edson here in the number 82 car, as he is at the back of this one. They're spinning in front of him, just nowhere to go. Tries to get to the inside. Porta comes back down, and he hits him big time. It was a big crash down here in turn number 3 and 4, and you see Porta almost got hooked by Austin Murray there. There's some contact there, which pits the 91 into the 51, and they are going to slide sideways. Poor Porta, nowhere for him to go. He's just driving around, and he's going to get hit in the rear. Spun into the outside wall, and it's going to be a big rear end hit for him. Thought he was okay from it, but then Jacob Edson will come in and hit him as well. We're going to go ahead, take a commercial break, bring you guys back to the action here at Atlanta. A lot of racing left to go in this Chick-Fil-A 500. A lot of drivers still left on track. We'll see who will win here at Atlanta. Back live at the Chick-Fil-A 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 24:98 coming to complete here. 25 laps through as we take the green this time by. Bobo Jones, Brady Burkhart, Logan Bradley, Jay Jefferson, Carter Friesen, Zachary DeLello, Peter Onjak, Diego Yepez, Brandon Morris, and Sebastian Cucalon are your top 10 as they run right now. Just behind them, Eric Monaco, Ryan Butcher, and Riley Spurleytube just outside of that. Larry Hagan will be a lap car. He is 2 laps down in that 21, so he has some damage. He has to try to meet minimum speed here in that 21 to stay on track because he does have damage. The other 4 drivers that have been involved in incidents today are in the garage. Their days are done. Bobo Jones, Brady Burkhart lead us down. 25 complete this time by. Green flag is in the air. Still a long way to go here at Atlanta. And Bobo Jones trying to take it all. Now Burkhart all over the back of him as Burkhart's not going to waste any time. Jefferson jumped to the outside on Bradley. I don't think that's going to work this early, but Burkhart's going to the inside. He wants the race lead in that 99. It's been 2 seasons since he went to victory lane last, and now he is side by side for Jones for the race lead as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3, and Burkhart's going to pull away. You see Hagan in the 21 trying to hang himself to the outside. He knows he's slow. He might not be too slow that these guys need to pass him immediately, but with all that damage, he knows that he's not fighting for anything. Everyone else is on the lead lap. He's the one 2 laps down, so he's fighting. Danny Lloyd in the 1 car now trying to work his way through in these bulky stock cars. As they come off of the corner, you see that pack back there. A bunch of drivers in the back there as Butcher's now going to work his way past Larry Hagan. Eric Monaco in the 72 working his way past Hagan. So hopefully that'll work their way through pretty quickly. Now Jones starting to drop back as Friesen is attacking Logan Bradley. Side by side for second between these two. Here for the second position. Burkhart trying to pull away. Bobo Jones, Jay Jefferson back there 4th and 5th. But Friesen on the inside of Logan Bradley. Logan Bradley is putting up a fight this race. He's showing maybe that CFRO was the reason behind his failures over at that organization. Came out at the end of the season, I think 3 straight 34th place finishes. No finishes outside of the bottom 10 drivers in the Crown Royal Truck Series, in the chase races, I don't think. So that team really started faltering, and now he ran well at the 300 in the trucks. He almost won the thing. Came home to finish 3rd with teammate Alex Peters in 2nd. He's right now running inside the top 5 pretty much this whole race in the 53 car. He is a threat to win this thing. And man, what a story it would be moving over to Zachary Racing, having to fill in for the injured DJ Gibson, and now he's side by side for 2nd with Carter Friesen. Bobo Jones right behind him as well, so he's in a Monster Motorsports sandwich right now. Another driver moving his way up. Look at Peter Onjak in those Menards colors. He's inside the top 5 now as he's passing Jefferson on that outside line. He's making a charge towards the front, and there's Zachary DeLello, Zachary Racing's team owner there. 3 wide up here. That's pretty dangerous heading into corners. We saw 3 wide didn't work last time. There as Porta was really just a bit ahead of Murray and Dilks, but side by side for 3rd now, side by side for 2nd, I mean, Bobo Jones, Logan Bradley, as they are sitting behind Brady Burkhart currently. Looking at the back of the pack, there's Larry Hagan, and he is staying up to speed. It might be the draft, but he's dropping back, and he's letting these guys by, but he is up to speed enough. Carson Bowers, another driver back here we got to watch. He might have got a piece of that wreck. You saw some sheet metal fly off when they hit together, so he might have some damage in that 25, and that might be why he's a bit slower in the corners. Strigley restarted this race last. He's moving his way on up. Cody Goforth and Anderson Reed trying to move their way up. Look at Scott Roush, started this race last. He's right now running in the 18th position, so he's gained some spots, moving his way through. Great job to see Ditech Racing doing so well here in this number 29 as he comes through turns 1 and 2 back here in the 18th spot, trying to hang on over Cody Smart. Yepez moving his way through. He's won Atlanta before. This driver in the 77, he is ready for this season. Everything's on a clean slate. He's no longer in Shepherd Racing equipment that's mid-pack, and he has to fight. He has to fight and just do what he can. Most of these drivers are the same. The setups, of course, are different. Your crew chiefs are different, and the drivers are different. But it is as even as a playing field as you can get. And Yepez right now, he's struggling about just inside the top 15. In that 77, but he's back here. He wants to win this race. He wants to win races this season. He wants to go back to the domination that he had the first 4 years of the NSDCA. Last season was a fluke. He moved over to a slower racing team. He got them a top 10, which was great at Pocono, and now he is here at Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, wanting to get them a win. They won the Crown Royal 300 last weekend. He wants to get them the Chick-Fil-A 500. 2 moves there on Cucalon, and Lloyd's going to move him up into 12th. Looking back up through the field, Burkhart, Bradley, and Bobo Jones are having a war up front. Up front, you see that pack of drivers. They are racing hard together as Bradley is trying to fight on that outside line around Burkhart. 33 and 98 complete. And now Bobo Jones, will he stick it 3 wide down into turn number 1? That he will, down to the bottom. But he's going to slow up Jefferson on that inside line. Burkhart using that middle line down to the bottom and will clear Logan Bradley coming off of the corner. The first and second place drivers now starting to pull away as Bobo Jones had to check up heading into turn 1 and 2. Now Jefferson almost into the side of him. Zachary DeLello, where did he come from? Don't forget, this was the race that DeLello won his first career race at. This track 2 years ago in the penultimate race of season number 4. The NSDCA. 2 drivers at the end of season 4 got their first career victories, DeLello and Jose Perez. He's now into the 4th position. He knows how to get it done here, and he wants to go back to victory lane. His last win coming at the Crown Royal 300 just over a year ago. He wants to get this car back into victory lane, and he's doing anything he can to do it as Morris all over the back of Jefferson. Now Yepez, now Foster inside this top 10. Spurley Tubes here as well, looking further back. We're just making sure everyone's all right as there's just a pack of cars there. Reed trying to get through, and there is Larry Hagan. We're going to take a moment here to check his up to speed, and there he is, already cleared it. He is cleared it, so Hagan is meeting minimum speed. He has been cleared of that damage issue, so he will be able to continue to race. Now, up in front, the top 2 pulling away. Burkhart and Bradley have launched away from the field. Then 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and maybe 6th with Morris have tried to launch away as the pack battles behind them. Burkhart and Bradley pulling away. Bobo Jones, Zachary DeLello, Jay Jefferson battling for 3rd, 4th, 5th. Morris now in 6th. Onjak 7th. Friesen 8th. Foster up to 9th. Butcher 10th. And here is Butcher's driver, Diego Yepez. Now trying to get himself into the top 10 around the man, Ryan Butcher. Battle for the 10th position as here comes Yepez. Foster looking for a move on Carter Friesen. Might have been some contact up there, but Tibb does not want to see that the Sundrop 500 was a fluke for him either. He fought his way up there. He survived the crash. He made his way into the top 10. He fought and he won the race fair and square. He used the lap cars as a pick and went on to win the race. Now Tibb wants to win more. He is the driver with the most momentum coming off of last season. The best driver in the chase out of every driver in the field, including the champion Carson Bowers last year. If Tibb was in the chase, he would have won the title. 2 wins in the chase as well. Multiple top 5s. I think he had 5 straight top 5s to end the season. Comes off with a win at the Sundrop 500. What else can he do? The most momentum on Anjado, the most momentum in the NSDCA. He wants to continue that with a top 10 run, top 5, maybe even a win here at Atlanta, but he's going to have to fight up front as Logan Bradley is now past Burkhart, back for the race lead. You see the gap has built up, though, as we're going to do a flyby down the back. Top 2 pulling away. The rest of the field single file. There's a couple packs of cars racing right now. Draft is important, especially when the cars are so equal to each other, and right now the 2 in front are still pulling away from those guys battling further back, but now they're battling up front. 2.2 second lead for Burkhart and Bradley. Now what are we looking at here? We pit around lap 23. If you take that to the end of the fuel window, it seems about lap 55 is the longest these guys can stretch. So we'll see about lap 45 to lap 55 will most likely be when the drivers start to come down pit road. Maybe some short pitting, maybe some long pitting, maybe some fuel saving. We'll see how that'll go. But Burkhart and Bradley pulling away. If they can hold this, and if we go green till those pit stops, they will have a nice advantage heading into green flag pit stops. Morris down to the inside on Jefferson. That is for that 4th position as they go side by side here. Bobo Jones in the 95 out in front of these guys. Now Friesen into 6th. Battle raging back here. Riley Spurley-Tube in the 28 trying to get himself into the top 10, but Butcher, Yepez, and Onjak fighting now. The Toyotas dive into the inside of Peter Onjak in that Onjado number 44. Yepez now trying to take that 9th position away from Onjak. He is on the charge with Ryan Butcher. Those 2 Toyotas moving their way through the field. Up in front it is all Brady Burkhart, 42 and 98 complete. We'll go ahead, take a quick commercial break again, bring you guys back to the action here at the Chick-Fil-A 500. Hopefully 4 pit stops. Burkhart, Bradley, Bobo Jones, Brandon Morris, and Jay Jefferson sit your top 5. The Chick-Fil-A 500 at Atlanta.
Oh, that's definitely a French grape.
So what do?
I prototype solid fuel thermodynamic propulsion systems.
Like a rocket?
Surgeon. Rocket surgeon.
Really? Jake, can you grab some sparkling water?
Look it up.
Where in the fridge?
Samsung 4-door refrigerator.
To the door.
Extra large capacity, customizable fourth drawer,
There's no sparkling water in the door.
and your choice of still or sparkling water right in the door.
Come on, Jake. It's not rocket surgery.
Back live here at Atlanta. Logan Bradley, lap 46 here, has fallen back. Tires being worn on that 53 car. He might have used them up too early. You see Burkhardt already down the backstretch as Bradley is trying to hang on over Bobo Jones, Carter Friesen, Brandon Morris as they head around in that top 5. Burkhardt out in front, soaring away. Jefferson you see falling back on the outside, but Burkhardt has a car to beat. He knows that, and these pit stops coming up are going to be important to try to solidify his chances at a race victory. The rest of the field through here, a lot of drivers fighting. Onjak has dropped pretty far back. The tires starting to be worn on everyone. If you race, the harder you race, the more these tires will be worn, and tire management at Atlanta is key. We said there are 3 pit stops that you'll have to make. Bobo Jones, Carter Friesen there, 3rd and 4th for Monster Motorsports. So these guys are trying to use their tires up just enough that they will be able to get into the race and be able to be there at the end. Again, a late race caution or a caution in a pit cycle could change everything here at Atlanta, but we'll see what will happen. Just a few laps away from green flag pit stops. Larry Hagan in the 21 is about to be caught up there. Nothing really has happened under the brake. Anderson Reed is moving his way through the field slowly but surely. Cody Goforth as well is moving his way back up. He's back into the 17th position as they come across the line. Onjak has fallen back. Ryan Butcher has lost his momentum. So has Diego Yepez, but Jay Jefferson is struggling on those older tires, radioing into the crew. He thinks he might have a vibration going on in that 48 car. He's going to have to hope he can get down pit road and diagnose that under pit stops. It might just be a new tire that he needs. As you see, got drivers coming on down. Brady Burkhardt's going to lead him on in. Bradley's going to stay out and pick up a lap lead. Morris, Curtis, Spurley Tube are coming on in. Larry Hagan as well. It looks like Anderson Reed, John Dilks, the black car back there. We will get identification for. That is Gatlin Downey's dark green car, and Joseph Strigley all going to come on in. And there's no choice here. 4 tires and fuel. You're not winning this race on a 2-tire call this early on in the day. Logan Bradley now going to bring this group on in, so we'll see what will happen here. But Bradley, Friesen, Bobo Jones, Jefferson, they're going to come on in. Tib Foster might be staying out an extra lap. He might just be held up by Butcher, but Foster's going to stay out, get a bonus point. Sebastian Cucalon and Colton Lane are going to stay out an extra lap, so that could be interesting here. They might lose some time now, but that could put them on a different cycle here from the race leaders. Bradley's now going to be held up by Joseph Strigley, going to have to let him by as they come back out. And looking up front as the drivers come out, Burkhardt will leave ahead of Brandon Morris. DJ Curtis is going to pick up either a lot of time or Morris lost a lot of time. Downey's going to pick up a spot on Dilks. Strigley is going to beat Anderson Reed out. TZR is having horrible luck with their pit crews. And we're going to look at Logan Bradley as the team goes to work on that number 53 car. For Zachary Racing, going up on the left sides, right sides, and now they're out. Carter Friesen's going to actually beat him out of pit road. Diego Yepez, look at that pit crew performing, and there goes Burkhardt by, so Burkhardt's going to open up a giant lead as he's going to fly past Friesen there. DJ Curtis might be up here in the 2nd position as they come on out, but Yepez now solidly gets himself inside the top 5. Burkhardt, though, has set sail in that number 99, way out in front here at Atlanta. We're going to have to see as the field shuffles back around, though. Foster, Cucalon, they came back in. There is Tib Foster. We'll make sure to see. There goes Hagan by, and here comes Burkhardt. Burkhardt will go past him, so we'll see if Foster will be able to move any positions up. Lane is going to pass Cucalon. Horrible pit stop for Sebastian Cucalon, and there they go. Friesen's going to get past him. Curtis gets past him, so Foster's probably going to come out about 12th, 13th, about where he was, maybe losing a spot or two, but now the field's spread out. We will go ahead and get an update as we see here as Foster will merge back into traffic smoothly. Let's go ahead and take a look at the running order as they come across the line. Burkhardt will be your race leader, now out by a wide margin over Carter Friesen, 2.4 seconds over the 85 of Carter Friesen, and it's another 3.8 back, or 1.4 back from Friesen to now DJ Curtis, who sits 3rd, replaces Lane up here. Logan Bradley 4th, Car stalled on the road is Alex Benyako in the 30 car. Nothing there, and it's a tire that has gone down for the 30 car. Was not able to get back to pit road, so they have placed him back on pit road. They're going to have to go to work on that 30 car, but that's heartbreaking for Benyako. 2 starts in the 30 this year, the Clash, and now here at Atlanta, both of them going to give him poor results. Logan Bradley passes DJ Curtis. That's for the 3rd spot. Diego Yepez on a great pit stop moves himself into the top 5 in that 77 car. Spurley Tube into 6th. 7th, Bobo Jones. 8th is the 57 of DeLello. 9th, Morris. 10th, Peter Onjak. 11th, Gatlin Downey. 12th, Eric Monaco. 13th is now John Dilks. 14th, Butcher. 15th, Foster. 16th, Neal. 17th, Roush. 18th, Jefferson. That is a big hit for Jay Jefferson, and that is probably going to take him out of this race chance for a victory to make another win at Atlanta into the inside of Roush. That's for 17th. 18th is now Scott Roush. 19th, Cody Goforth. 20th, Colton Lane. Horrible pit stop, horrible pit strategy for that. Pitting late will cost you a lot of spots on the track, but it could get you on a different cycle. It could get you a race victory. Carson Bowers, though, sits 21st. Strigley drifting to the inside of Matthew Eves. That was crazy there for Strigley. He's going to move himself into the 21st position, I believe, though, as they come across the line. Eves 22nd. Cucalon 23rd. No, that'll be 24th. So Strigley 22nd. Eves 23rd. Cucalon now for 23rd. Smart 25th. Reed 26th. Danny Lloyd. Heartbreak there in the 1. He is now 27th. Alex Benyako sits 28th as there's Larry Hagan going another lap down. As caution is out on the track. There is a yellow. It's a car. Tim Foster's in it. Cody Smart and Anderson Reed. Foster, heartbreak there, and that's going to take him out of this event. Danny Lloyd trying to make his way through it, and that will change everything. Anderson Reed, the pole sitter, is out. That's a big hit to Tony Zhang Motorsports. Alex Benyako, they diagnosed the issue. They had to wait, of course, to get back to pit road and be able to be started on pit road. Cody Smart, that day is done for the Funimation 02 and Tim Foster as well. But more importantly, Brady Burkhart's lead is now erased. With 40 laps to go, built up a 2.8 second lead, was ready to drive this car to victory lane, and now he will be stuck right there with the rest of the field. Alex Benyako bringing himself back onto track. He is now 5 laps down, so pretty much that day is done for the 30 car. It looks like he's going to move to the inside. I don't know what's going on. We'll see if anyone pits. They just came off of pit road, so we'll see if anyone's going to try the strategy to make it. You won't be able to make it to the end here, but you could make it to the last few laps. Alex Benyako is just getting back in front of the race leaders. And Bobo Jones is going to split off. He's going to come down pit road. John Dilks is going to come down. Strigley, Cucalon, Danny Lloyd are coming down. So a few guys at the back, those 3 at the back are coming on down. That is going to be interesting. Now, here you could take 2 tires. I don't know why, because the best you could do is beat out 4 other drivers, but you could take 2 tires, come down, maybe just a splash of fuel, but 4 tires most likely is the factor here that you want to have. Bobo Jones going on 2 on the right side. We'll see if they go around to the left side. No, they won't. 2 tires for Bobo Jones. There, Strigley's going for 4. I think they're doing repairs on the 63 as well. Dilks goes for 2. Cucalon's going to go for 2. And it looks like Danny Lloyd's going to go for 2. So Strigley goes for 4. Everyone else for 2 tires there. So an interesting strategy. We'll see if those right sides will work. But if you fuel that car up, you're still going to be about 9 or 8 laps off of the fuel window. So maybe they can save if there's a few more caution laps. They could save and come to the end and start 1st through 5th for a late race restart. But I don't see how they would be able to save that much fuel for these final few laps. But these guys are going to have to come in again in probably about another 20 laps. The thing that Burkhardt has, though, Larry Hagan will be lining up between the 99 and 85. So we'll see if Hagan will play a factor. He is not that slow. He's slow, but not too slow, so these guys should be able to just dive around him into turn number 1 on the restart, get by him. But Burkhardt's lead is gone. We'll have to see what will happen on this restart, but we got to see what happened to Tim Foster to bring out the second caution of the day here at the Chick-Fil-A 500. So Tim Foster, same thing as the earlier incident. Ryan Butcher's going to just run in and take out Tim Foster down in turn number 3, a trouble area for sure. Now Tim slides back down the track. He's going to make contact with a couple drivers, and then Cody Smart and Anderson Reed make heavy contact. Cody, a vicious hit for that number 02 car, and I believe we are on board with him right now. On the inside of Matthew Eves, you see that group of cars going by right in front of him and just nowhere into the back of him. Foster just slid down the track a little bit more, and it's a heavy hit for Cody Smart. He is being checked and hopefully released from the infield co-center. On board with Anderson Reed behind him in the front bumper cam for this 75 car, as he was sitting behind Cody Smart this whole time, that 02 up in front, and they just really have nowhere to go. They look to the inside. They were trying to get through. They could have if they just had less speed, but both of them pile in to Tim Foster. We're under caution for the second time today here at Atlanta. Bringing us back to the action after this for the Chick-Fil-A 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Back live at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Brady Burkhart will be leading them down. Carter Friesen in second. Logan Bradley third. Yepez up to fourth. DJ Curtis back to fifth. Spurley Tube sixth. DeLello seventh. Morris eighth. Monaco in ninth. Peter Onjak 10th. Downey, Butcher, Neal, Jefferson, Scott Roush 14th. 15th Cody Goforth. 16th Cody Goforth actually. Colton Lane, Carson Bowers, Matthew Eves, Bobo Jones, Sebastian Cucalon, John Dilks, Danny Lloyd, Joseph Strigley, and two lappers in Larry Hagan and Alex Benyako sit there as well. We got a lot of drivers still left in this one. 26 cars on the track. Now, Anderson Reed, Tim Foster, Cody Smart have retired from the event, as well as the other drivers who were involved in the earlier crash in this race. 39 laps to go, I believe, here at Atlanta. Brady Burkhart, Carter Friesen leading us down. Now they're going to try to work their way around Hagan. That's going to help Burkhart. And green flag is in the air. Friesen to the outside, Bradley to the inside. And again, Hagan is meeting minimum speed. Just because he falls that far back doesn't mean he's not meeting minimum speed. But Burkhart in the race lead. Friesen's clear into second. Bradley clear into third. Now Curtis versus Yepez side by side for that fourth position. And Yepez wants to get up there. He wants to fight Burkhart for this race win, but he has his drivers up there as well, Friesen and Curtis. As Friesen's all over the back of Burkhart coming off the corner. Hagan now holding up Brandon Morris further back as Friesen's going to make a move for the race lead on Burkhart. 63 of 98 complete here at Atlanta. Now Friesen trying to make a move on Burkhart down the back straightaway. Coming around, it will be 35 laps to go here at Atlanta. Yepez now down on the inside of Bradley. That is side by side for the third spot. And Yepez is here. He is making his presence known, and he is in the top 5. Has been making his move through this entire race in that 77 car. He is now into the third spot, looking for much more, going at it as Burkhart and Friesen go at it for the race lead. Friesen trying to get the shot to the race lead, and that he will off of the corner. Yepez is going to follow him through. Can Yepez get his first win in over a season here in the NSDCA? Down to the inside for second on Burkhart, and that lead for Brady is gone. We're coming around. There's only about another 20 laps till these guys got to come back in for fuel, come back in for tires, and that could come under green flag situation, which could be interesting to see. Again, we had 5 drivers come down pit road last time by. Strigley, Danny Lloyd, the 95 of Bobo Jones, the 12 of Sebastian Cucalon, and I think the 05 of Colton Lane was the other one that came on down. Might have been John Dilks in the 51. Out in front, though, up further ahead, not out in front. Spurley to Curtis and Morris have been shoved to the back. Gatlin Downey, it's nice to see that team on the pit stop get him out up inside the top 10. He's already dropping back. But look at this battle now up here for the race lead. We got 6 cars under a blanket. Actually, it's not for the race lead as Friesen is checked out. This is for second. Bradley now clear into second. He is a threat this race. Yepez third. DeLello fourth. Look at Eric Monaco in the 72. He wants to get his first career victory, not in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, not even in the Truck Series. He wants to win a cup race. He's inside the top 5 with that Bang Energy number 72 for Smart Motorsports. Cody Smart, team owner, already taken out in an incident in that 02 car. Eric Monaco fighting just inside the top 10, trying to get Smart Motorsports some money. And a great finish here at Atlanta. But Carter Friesen pulling away in that Allegiant Airlines number 85. He broke a 4-season-long winless drought last season at Darlington at Darlington in the 85 truck. Now he is out in front trying to win this race again. Logan Bradley back there in second. He's trying to break just a 2-season-long winless drought in this number 53 car. He's chasing down that 85 of Carter Friesen. Yepez breaking a 1-season-long winless drought, and that's 77 if he can do it. And further back, you got even more winless droughts. DeLello is over a season. Brady Burkhart, 2 seasons. Onjack is just about a season. Spurleytube is 3 seasons, but 4 years because of missing out on the 4th season of the NSDCA's. Burkhart down to the inside on Onjack. Almost some contact there, side by side up front between Burkhart and Onjack, coming off for the I believe 4th position here at Atlanta, as they are side by side going at it. Carter Friesen trying to be chased down by Logan Bradley. Friesen trying to pull away from Bradley. The top 3, though, have spread out as Friesen, Bradley, and Yepez have pulled away from the busy traffic that is this pack of racing here. Ryan Butcher back inside the top 10. Look at this. Dusty Neal. Look at Joseph Strigley in the 63 racing his way inside the top 15 here in the closing laps of the Chick-Fil-A 500. He is putting his owner-driver, just a one-man operation with a volunteer pit crew. He's inside the top 15 in this Cup race. 3 wide with Monaco and Morris. Morris is dropping back like a rock, but Strigley, those 2 tires must be working their magic because he is inside the top 15. Dusty Neal is also up here. Look at these 2 fighting their way through the field. Cody Goforth struggling at the back. Lloyd is moving his way through the field in the 1 car, but Goforth at the back. His day going to be turned from bad to worse if he runs back here this far. Bobo Jones as well. John Dilks, but now Logan Bradley starting to catch. He has the draft to Carter Friesen. Has gained about half a second that lap. Friesen really screwed it up, and now Bradley has all the draft. He is sucking up to the back of that 85. Battle for the race lead coming off of the corner. Down the back straightaway they go. Burkhart clear into 4th. Spurleytube and Butcher 5th and 6th. Here comes Bradley for the race lead on Friesen. And Zachary Racing is looking to get themselves back into victory lane. Alex Peters at Auto Club was the last victory, and that was last season early on. Neither of the drivers made the chase last year. Logan Bradley's not full-time in the Cup Series, but if he wins this race, Zachary Racing would definitely need to consider it because he could be a wild card driver in the chase. He's showing speed right now. Carter Friesen back at 2nd. Yepez all over the back of him in 3rd. That is the battle now between Yepez and his own driver, Carter Friesen. 4th, Burkhart, but the top 3 now under a blanket as they head through 3 and 4. A lot of tire marks down there. That seems to be the trouble spot for most of the drivers. Down this front straightaway they go. 98 laps in this race. 73 we are on right now. That is about 25 laps to go here at Atlanta as they head on around. A bit of a wider angle shot. Looking back at Burkhart in 4th. Spurleytube 5th. Butcher in 6th in that 83 car. And now Butcher making a move on Riley Spurleytube for the 5th position. He wants to get SBR into the top 5 with yet another driver. Onjack fighting his way up. Curtis is up there as well. There's Jefferson. Joseph Strigley now. He doesn't want a top 15. He wants a top 10 for JSR Racing. And there comes the 63 off the corner. He's into the 11th position. This is a drive of his life. Joseph Strigley in the 63. I believe he only has 2 finishes inside the top 20 in his career. His highest finish being 17th, and that was at the Sundrop 500 last weekend. And now Strigley in the 63 car is up almost inside the top 10. He can taste a top 10 run if he could just catch up to Jefferson. Yepez now looking to the inside of Friesen. These guys are going at it for the race lead. 75 and 98 coming this time by now. Friesen all over the back of Bradley. Does he have anything for the 53 car? These guys have to worry. In about 10 more laps, they might have to come back down for some more fuel, and that will allow those guys who topped off on the restart to take some laps out in front, get themselves some laps led, and try to make it to the end. Friesen now clear into the race lead. Bradley back to 2nd. Burkhart does not want to give up. He's fighting Yepez for the 3rd spot. Look at Riley Spurleytube, the part-time car for TSR. They are inside the top 5 with Spurleytube. Butcher is there. DeLello is there. These guys are fighting, and Strigley is catching them. Those 2 tires might be great for Strigley. He's almost inside the top 10. Coming after Jefferson and Onjack, the owner-driver, the little engine that could this race. He's fighting his way into the top 10. To the inside of Jefferson, and there it is. Top 10 for Joseph Strigley as they run right now. Coming around 22 laps to go at Atlanta. No one will be able to make it on fuel. You have to be saving heavily right now, and Strigley definitely is not. to the inside. Bradley looking for a move on Friesen. Yepez is going to bow out as Burkhart makes the move on the outside. Coming off of the corner, Bradley all over the back of Friesen once again. The top 7 single file. Srigley now making a move on Onjak. He's trying to lead this race before these guys have to pit, and he's going to just muscle his way past Onjak. 8th position now for Joseph Srigley in that number 63 car, and he is charging through the field. Those 2 tires are working their magic. Whatever they did on the pit stop, whatever adjustments they made, actually, he didn't take 2 tires. He was the only one on pit road that took 4, and you see how much faster he is. He was, it was 7 laps maybe removed from a green flag pit stop. He's now inside the top 10 and fighting his way through the field, trying to lead this race coming to these final laps. Spurley Tube's down pit road. There is the pit stops. This will begin the pit cycle. Spurley Tube and Butcher will be the first ones down. Curtis is down as well. That moves Srigley into 5th. A fantastic performance for the 63 team. Another driver coming on down. That's Matthew Eves. So these guys are starting their pit stops. This will be, I think they're kind of putting it in the middle of pit stops, in the middle of their cycle, trying to cut these stints into two equal halves. Burkhart now fighting Yepez. We'll see if anyone else comes down pit road. Bradley and Friesen out in front, and they are going to come on in. I think that's reactionary. You're coming on in now because those other guys did. Yepez stays out in front, but Srigley stays out. DeLello's going to stay out. That looks like, I believe that's the 1 car of Lloyd leading that group. Benyako, Jones, Dilks, Downey, Cucalon. So out of the drivers that did not pit under that last caution, as Spurley Tube's going to get passed by Curtis and Butcher. Gatlin Downey staying out an extra lap, as well Zachary DeLello and Yepez staying out an extra lap. But we're going to see right here, Joseph Srigley is going to lead a lap. Yepez comes down pit road. That's going to be Srigley into the race lead if he gets around Yepez, and he will. 18 laps to go here at Atlanta, and Joseph Srigley in the 63. That might be his first lap led. He will lead that lap here at Atlanta, and now it's going to be a few more laps. They have some more fuel in those cars to last a bit longer in this race, but you know Srigley is not one that's saving. I don't think he's going for a race-ending finish. He wants to get these sponsors on TV. The Black's Tire 63 out in front here at Atlanta as they come through the corner. Everyone on pit road. 4 tires is key. You got to go 4 tires or you're pretty much going to lose the race. 3 wide coming off of pit road. There as they come on down. Bradley and Friesen have pulled away, but Ryan Butcher has jumped them on pit road. Ryan Butcher will be the race leader when they cycle around. Srigley remaining out in front, but Ryan Butcher has now jumped his way into the race lead for SBR as soon as they cycle around, that is, and we do not need a caution right now because that could trap a lot of drivers a lap down. Bradley in 2nd. Yepez is going to drop back. Friesen and Curtis moving up in 4th. Now will be 3rd and 4th as they come on around. Spurley Tube still inside the top 10. Hagen's dropping back. Colton Lane's back there. Downey's going to lose a lot of spots. He's been trying to long pit a lot. But Ryan Butcher will be the new race leader when they cycle around in this 83 car. And you see he has a bit of a gap over Bradley, Bradley DeLello. Well, Bradley, who are they? Bradley, Curtis, and Friesen out there right now. But up in front, Joseph Srigley continuing to lead laps here in this 63 car. In 2nd sits Danny Lloyd in that 1. He is just a few laps away if they can somehow make it. I don't think any of these guys are going to make it. John Dilks 3rd, Bobo Jones 4th, and Sebastian Cucalon 5th. Butcher sits 6th. These guys are a lap down, but they're going to be flying up on these guys up front. Friesen and Curtis, Bradley, Yepez, Burkhart, Spurley Tube, Jefferson, Onjak, DeLello, Lane, Monaco, Eves right there. Roush has gained some spots. Morris has dropped back, but there is Joseph Srigley in the 63 car. He's preying on a caution. If a caution comes out, he is trapped on the lead lap, and those 5 might be the ones settling this race. But Srigley out in front in the 63, making laps, trying to run this car to the end. I don't think he's going to be able to save another 14 laps of fuel here at Atlanta. That's a lot of fuel. So these guys are you're going to be seeing these top 5 come down pit road soon, but they are trying to stretch it out as far as they can to go ahead and possibly win this race, waiting on a caution. But Srigley out in front still, just pacing on around. He's slow. He's slower than these guys with these Warner tires, but he's just pacing on around at a steady pace, trying to win this race if he could. Out in front, leading some laps in that 63 car. Dilks comes on in, so there is Dilks coming on down. These guys have passed Cucalon there in the 12, so you see Cucalon now trying his best to lengthen that lead, lengthen his time before pit stop anyway. Friesen, though, clear into the spot. That is for the race win right there. As soon as all these guys come in and pit, Strigley continuing his pace on around. Will he stay out another lap? No, Strigley's going to have to come in. So there goes the dream for Strigley. Bobo Jones is going to stay out. Lloyd comes in, but Jones stays out. Cucalon, there's Cucalon coming on in. So there's your new race leader, Bobo Jones in the 95. Friesen is going to unlap himself right there. But you see the difference between new tires versus old tires. Now Curtis going to have to work his way around, and Logan Bradley, Ryan Butcher as well. Curtis is going to be held up by teammate Bobo Jones. Actually, this whole group is going to be held up by Bobo Jones, as Bobo's going to finally dive himself onto pit road. Butcher backs out. He doesn't want to run over Bobo coming into pit road, so that might be big for them. But now out in front, it will be Carter Friesen in the 85 leading him across the line. There is Strigley in the 63 as the field cycles around. We'll see if he'll pick up any spots, but he might have fresher tires for a last few lap stint if he can make a run towards the front. But Carter Friesen will be your new race leader. Curtis and Bradley second and third. Butcher and Yepez now fourth and fifth, with Burkhart in sixth. Coming around, it'll be 10 laps to go here at Atlanta. Will anyone catch Carter Friesen in that 85 car? Curtis and Bradley trying to work together back there. How many times last year did we see this battle? Friesen versus DJ Curtis. Charlotte, they fought. Curtis came out on top. Darlington, they fought. Friesen came out on top. They fought side by side for the race lead many times last year. Two of those times, they came out with the victory. Now Curtis trying to chase down teammate Carter Friesen as they come on around. Bobo Jones still listed as the race leader, but he has been passed. He's going to drop very far back. And now Strigley, there you see him there. He has fresher tires. He's going to have to try to fight his way back up, but he is solidly inside the top 15. And there is Friesen. He's been caught by DJ Curtis coming off the corner. Monster Motorsports going to battle for this race lead. Don't battle too long. The Zachary Racing 53 is back there as well. Curtis is going to move him out of the way. Here comes Curtis to the inside. He wanted to win the Sundrop 500. It slipped from his fingers after he was held up by Patrick Smith when he picked the wrong line. Curtis, your race leader. 9 laps to go here at Atlanta. The 30 car has left the track. Alex Benyako has retired with a tire issue, so that day is done for the 30 team. I don't think he wanted to be in that car anymore. Burkhart is back clear into third. He has the momentum. Friesen and Curtis side by side for the race lead once again. Friesen back to the inside. Curtis going to try to use that outside line power, and he will. Looking back here, Burkhart, Bradley, Spurley Tube, Yepez, Jefferson, and Butcher in this front pack. On Jack there as well. Rest of the field moving on through. Strigley, though, is now dropped back. They might have screwed up a setup or an adjustment on that 63 car because he's dropping towards the back now. But out in front it is all DJ Curtis over Carter Friesen. Monster Motorsports having a field day out here as Diego Yepez is enjoying this from his battle in the second group. Spurley Tube trying to get that 28 car top 5. Yepez on the back of Burkhart down to the inside, and that's going to be Yepez moving his way inside the 5th position as Jay Jefferson's looking for a move. Now Spurley Tube jumps down, jumping on this draft train up in front, trying to get the run off of there. But the battle is for the race lead. 7 laps to go at Atlanta. Curtis and Friesen first and second. The pack charging behind. Bradley and Burkhart trying to split out, trying to go single file, draft up, and pass these top 2. But Monster Motorsports is going to war. 6 laps to go this time by. You do not have friends. You do not have teammates when a race win is on the line, and Friesen knows that. Curtis knows that. They've fought each other multiple times last year for race wins. They know that neither one is going to give an inch just because you're driving for Diego Yepez. Out in front is Curtis. Second is Friesen. Friesen a little slow off the corner. He's going to drop back some. Bradley in the 53 trying to catch up here in that Zachary Racing powered 53. Burkhart and Yepez 4th and 5th. Can they draft up with Bradley and catch up to these front guys? There's Sebastian Cucalon in the 12. He's going to have to work his way through, and hopefully he doesn't fall a lap down here at Atlanta. Down into the corner, battle for 4th you see there, but Logan Bradley, we're keeping the wide angle shot so we can take a look at Bradley and those groups back there as Curtis works his way off of turn number 2 down the back. Friesen behind him in the draft. Yepez clear into 4th. Jefferson looking for 5th. Bradley, is he gaining? We'll have to take a look at the tickers. Curtis goes for a wide angle run. He wants to run the outside line coming off the corner, and he will gain on Friesen there. A big move by Curtis to use the outside line through the corner. It's going to pick him up a couple tenths. Logan Bradley has fallen back about a second there. He's fallen back into the clutches of them. Now Friesen's going to work that outside line. These guys are running any line they can to catch each other. Curtis versus Friesen. It's a Monster Motorsports battle for the race win. However, if a caution comes out, it's a green-white checkered finish. The SDCS has been cleared to run green-white checkered finishes as an experiment for this season. And now, there's going to be 3 laps to go between Curtis and Friesen, hoping for no caution, but these guys are fighting for their lives out in front at Atlanta. Curtis first, Friesen second. Friesen is on the back bumper of him. Now looks to the inside, coming off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Bradley, Yepez, Burkhart, they're fighting each other. They ain't going to catch. Friesen to the inside, and he's going to try to clear Curtis. Curtis back on the outside. He used that outside line a couple times around here, but Curtis will be cleared by Friesen. 2 laps to go at Atlanta. Who's going to win it out of Monster Motorsports? Cucalon is up there. Will lap cars play a factor again? I don't think he's that slow. He's a bit slower. He might have gone for 2 tires instead in that 12, but I don't think he's slow enough that these guys will have too much of a problem getting around him, but they will catch him on this last lap. 2 weeks in a row, it'll happen. Friesen in the race lead. Curtis in second. Can Curtis capitalize on Sebastian Cucalon like he tried to capitalize last week at the 500? White flag is out. Carter Friesen in the race lead. He just has to work his way past Sebastian Cucalon or stay right behind him. I don't think Curtis can catch him now. Curtis really far back. Friesen in the 85 coming off a turn number 2 with a run. Now to the inside of Cucalon. As long as he clears him, he is home free. And into 3 and 4, he's not going to clear him. He's going to let Cucalon stay in front of him because he has that gap to Curtis. Out of turn number 4, Carter Friesen in the 85 team. He's going back to victory lane for Monster Motorsports. Friesen wins the Chick-Fil-A 500 at Atlanta. Field works their way across the line. Monaco getting a great finish. A big gap back here, and it looks like it's going to just be a top 20 for Strigley in the 63 car. 19th for Strigley after leading some laps. Cody Goforth coming home with a 20th. But Carter Friesen, you see DJ pulling up alongside him, congratulating him. That's what a teammate does. Curtis is going to take an extra lap, though. But Carter Friesen in the 85, he will hold on to take the victory here at Atlanta. What a race we had on our hands. It was a long event. Some pit strategy came into play, got some drivers out into the race lead that we never saw. Strigley led some laps. We also saw Danny Lloyd, the rookie, up front for a bit of that, but I think the fuel strategy does cost him at the end of the race. Anderson Reed, your pole sitter, will not finish the race. Heartbreaking for that team. Brandon Morris started second. He dropped back. Cody Goforth, Sebastian Cucalon. The top 4 drivers all finishing outside of the top 10, I believe. Heartbreaking for those guys after a great qualifying performance, especially for Cody Goforth. That is another week he thought he could have had speed, but comes home just in 20th in that 27 car. An exciting race here at the Chick-Fil-A 500. It came down to the wire, and a last few lap pass between Friesen and Curtis gives Carter Friesen a race victory, while GJ Curtis comes up just 1 short yet again this season. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Atlanta. It was an exciting 98 laps, and some fuel strategy, as we said, played a key role. Next week, we head out to Auto Club, a fan favorite track for the Sundrop Cup Series as well. The Crown Royal Truck Series make their return. The Mountain Dew Custom Series is on their few off weeks. They have a lot more this year since the SDCS has come in to fill up some race weekends. As well, the Molson Modifieds and Dr. Pepper Dash Series races will be out on the West Coast as well as some short tracks. So be sure to tune in for all of those. It was an exciting 98 laps. Monster Motorsports dominating at the end, and it's Friesen who comes home with the victory. A great pit stop set him up for a battle with Curtis, and he came out on top. Thank you guys so much for watching here at Atlanta, and we will see you guys next time on the NSDCA.